Hello everyone, welcome back to RCH Builders. Back down here again. I was actually not able to make it here last week. We had a couple extra jobs that we had to do, but I think I had to have a backlog of about, I think, 2 videos, where I'm 2 weeks ahead of what y'all are seeing. Or I was. Now it will probably only be 1. I did it specifically for this reason, so hopefully I can still continue to give you a video every week, even if I can't make it down here 1 week. But with that being the case, the last time I was able to come down here, we already knew that the lawn definitely needed to be mowed. Now it is extremely tall, especially where the weeds are. That stuff is almost as tall as my knees. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this mowed. I'm also going to use the weed eater this time. I haven't used it at all up till now, but with it getting later in the year, the stuff is starting to grow up along the fence line a little bit, and go ahead and hit it up against the house while I'm at it. But so I'm going to go ahead and use the weed eater, mow the lawn. I'm going to just put it on hyperlapse, let y'all watch that if you want. If not, you can skip to the next step that we'll be doing. Alright everyone, so I just ate lunch real quick and seen what time it was. While the phone's recording, I can't see what time it is. Didn't really know what time it was at all. Mowing the lawn, weed eating and all that, with how tall the grass was, it took a lot longer than I thought it did. And so with that being the case, I'm not going to do the leveling of the beam because that's going to take more time to do than what will allow me to still put in some piers. And I really want to get some piers in because if I can get a couple of more of the piers in, then the next time when I come down, hopefully it'll be in a week. I won't have to mow the lawn, and then I can go ahead and it'll be more efficient because that way I can go ahead and set more of the beams down on top of piers that are finished. So instead of wasting time getting the whole transit out, getting everything set up, to be able to do it for just 3 piers, I'm instead going to go ahead and do the brick for as many of the piers as I can now, so that when I do get the transit out, hopefully I can it'll be much more efficient of a usage to have it out and use, rather than just one or three little piers. So because if I do that, I'm not going to have any time left to even finish one pier of the brick if I start on this far end. And if that's the case, I won't have any piers dry to set it down on next time. So more efficient, hopefully. Yeah, it's more brickwork. Maybe you want to watch it, maybe you don't. All right, everyone. So I guess that's going to be it for today. I've already cleaned up all the tools except for the pan. I'll take that outside and clean that up real quick. But that's 2 more piers. I ended up going ahead and doing them up here because it is farther away from the opening, and I am wanting to kind of work my way towards it, just because that way the closer I get to the door, the less I have to carry stuff in. Just to me, it makes sense to do it that way. But I got 2 more done, so that is going to make it so when I come down here next time, in order to set that down on there, I'm going to have to go ahead and come up with the ability to get that 2x8. I mean, it's not that much. It is, you know, but I mean, it's by that one and by the ones that I need for this middle one. So that's the thing. So, I mean, we've got a couple little jobs that have been coming slowly through. There's a few small ones. Hopefully those will, you know, the small ones can add up to a lot as long as they're steady. The problem is them being steady. Otherwise, as far as a big job, we're getting close to being finished with that one. And then that's the thing with the construction field, when you finish with a large job and you don't have a lot of small ones or a large one lined up, it just gets a little bit tricky how to maneuver the money, because you not only have to have money for your stuff, you have to have money for employees as well to be able to keep having money, food on the table. So it's just money management issue that you got to deal with. So even if there's money in the account now, you have to be really careful with it, because it's got to last until that next big job. We did have somebody contact us about a big job that they're possibly going to do, but it's not locked in. And without it being locked in, it just goes back to the old adage of don't count your chickens till they hatch. That's one of the big things that I learned really the hard way when I first started my business many years ago. Was you know, well, you don't want to quote 4 jobs if you only have time for one. No, you want to quote all 4 jobs, because there's a good chance you'll only get one of those 4. So it does, and if you do end up, the people want you to do more, then it's like, well, I mean, it's first come, first serve. This person locked it in first. We'll get to you as soon as we can afterward. Unfortunately, sometimes that means they'll go elsewhere. But if you didn't try to begin with, you're apt to simply have no work at all. If you only bid the one job, you're going to be in trouble. Because if they don't agree to it, you've already lost the other 3 because you never went and quoted it. And they went to someone else because of that. So with that being the case, like I say, I'm hoping, it seems like hopefully things will start perking up a little bit in the near future. I'm hoping, trying to stay positive. Of course, that's the best thing you can do. Thinking negatively doesn't help, even though it is hard not to sometimes. So, but as far as this video goes, that's going to be it for this one. We've got, I think, only 5 more piers to build. And hopefully, you know, I did do 2 of the shorter ones. There's one that's shorter. That's the one I'm technically sitting on. I had started that one day with some leftover mortar. It's only about 3 bricks high, and it's probably going to go another 5 high from where it is. So it shouldn't take long. I just kind of want to get that other beam pretty much set before I start jacking up on this one in the middle and figuring out what we got to do with it. But other than that, I guess I'll see you the next time.